What is up, Internet? It's your boy Tenku, and today we're talking about an anime of the season that I find quite sweet. They kind of took the isekai thing and then turned it to a slice of life, and then of course sprinkled in the adventure stuff, to keep things interesting. So between the sweet slice of life moments, you get the typical adventurer isekai growing stuff. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Kamitachi ni hirowareta otoko. And in English, that is by the grace of the gods. It's a little different. That's just what they name it, by the grace of the gods. And it's animated season, of course. And it revolves around our main character, Roma. And Ryoma Takabayashi, so Ryoma, because I'm saying that last name a bunch of times, he died. And so he's in Japan. He's a 30-something-year-old office worker, and he kills over. He dies, and he meets three deities in his afterlife. He meets Lulutia, which is the goddess of healing and love, Kufo, the god of life, and Gain, the god of creation. So they explain to him that he's going to be reincarnated into another world. He's surprisingly calm about it. He's like, okay, I guess that's what it is. Because in his life, that's just who he was. He was a very calm, kind person. Even though he was a salaryman, stressed out all the time, he was always very nice and kind to everybody. And the reason why they do this is because the world he's being sent to needs to siphon magic from Earth, or his world, so the other world can survive. And they do it every once in a while because I guess Earth is so abundant with magic because nobody uses it. They need to take some of it, siphon it, so the other world can survive because it uses a lot of magic. Very, typical setup, or simple setup, I guess you could say. So he gets reincarnated as an 8-year-old boy, and from the ages of 8 to 11, he lives in the forest by himself, and he trains slimes. He's a monster tamer. He gets the job monster tamer. So he's able to tame all these slimes. He even creates some new slimes. I mean, they have poison slimes. He has slimes that eats garbage and stuff and defecation to keep things clean. He has cleaner slimes. He has regular slimes. I mean, the boy has all kinds of slimes. He can tame slimes easily. He controls thousands upon thousands of slimes. Well, one day, he's out in the forest and he comes across some representatives of the Jamal household, some guards, and the head of the Jamal household, Reinhardt. And so what ends up happening is one of the guards from this household is wounded really badly. And so he comes out, he's like, hey guys, don't, think he saves him and says, here, let me heal this guy. So he has slimes, he has a healing slime and all kinds of crazy stuff. So he patches up the guy and says, hey, go ahead and get on your way, gets him on their way, and do that. And so the Jamal household figures out where he lives and shows up at his house, like the whole household. There's Reinhardt, as mentioned, he's the head of the household. There is Elise, which is Reinhardt's wife, Elria, who is their daughter, who's the same age as Roma. So they're both 11. And so they say, hey, you live here alone. We're going to do this. Come with us. Come live with us. Be part of our household, kind of. And, we'll take care of you, all this good stuff. Because they see such a good potential in this guy. Because, being able to have so many slimes under your belt is unheard of. And so he's able to do that. And so it's about him going with them to a town, striking out on his own, having ideas, bringing his knowledge from the real world to this world, to in business, in creation, things like that, and just how he's growing, how he becomes an adventurer, how he's taming his slimes, the things he does for people. They have this whole arc about clearing out the old mines of the tunnel, and he figures out how to reuse them to bring more money to the town. So it's quite interesting the way he thinks, because he's an old Japanese man stuck in an 11-year-old's body, and he's able to bring all this stuff out, and he's just a kind character. And because of his kindness, a bunch of people in this town, a bunch of these characters come around him and, lift him up and help him out and do all this stuff. And he thinks he's taking advantage of him when it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. And so, he decides to strike out on his own, does his own thing. And that's what the anime is about. It's about him and his relationship with Elria. and Realma, because they're both the same age, and how eventually you know that they're gonna end up breaking apart because she's going to the capital to go to school, of course, and he is gonna become an adventurer, a businessman, and all this stuff. What's really interesting is the parts that get you sometimes, because he does his things and then he comes back and you see flashes of when he was in Japan, like little flashes of when he was adult, when he was in Japan, and things that happened to him and things like that. And when it gets you, like there's some things when he's out all day working, a couple days, doesn't come back. He comes back to the Jamal household and they're all just sitting there waiting for him. And so he has a simple flashback about his mom in the real world back in the day before she passed, and it just gets you. And there's a lot of parts like that, so it's really interesting to me. But tell me what you guys think. You guys think I'm crazy? Do you guys like it too? Do you think it's just another sweet isekai slice of life that we don't need them? Tell me in the comments below on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Thanks for watching the videos, guys. Don't forget to sub to the channel. And remember, if you can't trust a random fat guy you met on the internet, then who can you trust? And everybody have an awesome, awesome day.